A very good morning to all. I am Sangeeta Joshi and I welcome you in this Career Fest presented by Credent TV.live and Dainik Navjyoti and powered by Red FM 93.5. The topic of today's chat is parents need to invest in themselves. As parents हम कई बार बहुत ज़्यादा हम ये कह सकते हैं कि हम अपने बारे में सोचना बंद कर देते हैं. खास तौर पे आज के सिनेरियो में when the whole society is undergoing a big change, the society is undergoing a very big economic pressure, when each one of us trying to rise up again, struggling just this post pandemic situations. As parents हम क्या चाहते हैं, सब कुछ we want to give the best to our children, and definitely it is raising up children is a very big responsibility. बट ये बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है कि अगर हम अपने बच्चों को एक हेल्दी और राइट अपब्रिंगिंग देना चाहते हैं तो वो हेल्दी और राइट काइंड ऑफ एटमॉस्फेयर एज पेरेंट्स हम अपने आसपास भी रखें. अगर हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे बच्चे फिट एंड फाइन हो, अगर हम चाहते हैं कि हमारे बच्चे दे शुड बी ब्रॉट अप विद द राइट काइंड ऑफ वैल्यूज, दे शुड बी हेल्दी, फिट एंड फाइन, दैट इज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट वी check our own behavior first. We invest in our own health and personality first. Regarding that only, we are having a mentor with us, that is Madam Shraddha Subramaniam with us. And Madam Shraddha is India's first intuition expert, life and executive coach, and founder and CEO. And I welcome you, Madam Shraddha. It's actually a great matter of pride to have you with us. Madam Shraddha has been the recipient of Women Entrepreneur Award for 2020-21. She has received Vocational Excellency Award from Rotary Club of Pune, and she has participated as an expert speaker at NLP India Summit 2020. So I welcome you, Madam Shraddha, and it is actually definitely going to be quite beneficial for us as parents when definitely जब आप हमें गाइड करेंगे कि आज के सिनेरियो में किस तरीके के चेंजेस हमें अपने इर्द गिर्द एज पेरेंट्स रखने हैं. तो इस रिगार्ड आप कुछ बताना चाहेंगे हमें, क्योंकि हम पेरेंट्स होने के नाते कई बार बहुत ज्यादा हम कह सकते हैं कि डिवोटेड हो जाते हैं. हम अपने लिए कुछ नहीं सोचते, हम चाहते हैं जो भी बेस्ट बच्चे को मिले, और इसी सीन में कई बार ऐसा होता है कि हम बच्चे का नुकसान करते हैं या हम पूरे सिनेरियो का नुकसान कर देते हैं क्योंकि हम अपने बारे में भूल जाते हैं. तो इस बारे में आप हमें क्या कहना चाहेंगे, मैडम श्रद्धा?
Okay, so thank you so much, Sangeeta, for welcoming me here. First of all, I would like to dedicate this conversation to my father. He is no more, and it was his birthday yesterday. So I want to dedicate this because he has been one of the instrumental pillars in my life where I am today. So dedicated to you, my dad, Mr. Jayant Thirgaonkar. So beginning this journey from a space of a parent. So before talking about my journey and what I have in store for all of you, I want to talk about as a person, how I have grown. So, being an intuition expert, life and executive coach, and all of that. So I started my journey as an engineer, and I worked in the IT industry for 15 plus years before I thought that I need to be on this path to help people achieve their dreams and really overcome their challenges. Coming to a space like this about parenting, okay? Now this is a very, very sensitive part of it. And as you rightly said,
your journey as an engineer, ma'am.
Right. So as I was into software for 15 plus years before embarking as journey as a coach. Right. And now having that experience of dealing with so many people, around. And as a coach as well, yes, I coach the industry leaders, business owners to help them, live their vision and build their legacy. And you know what? 95+% of people whom I coach are parents. And that's where it brings me here to add that value to the parents, because if they are looking forward for their children to build a mark here in this world and leave a legacy of themselves, then I think you need to hold on. Maybe take a pen and a paper. I'm going to ask you a lot of questions, and we're going to go through so many things today that will help you really to understand, imbibe. And my only intention would be today to leave you with something to move you from this space you are into today to another space on that path, on the journey of uh, being parents who are ready to invest in themselves, right? So here we are talking about being ready to invest in themselves. Like Sangeeta, you rightly said that as soon as we become parents, including me, we always think that we always want to do everything for our child, right? Even a very simple example, if I cook something that my child likes and even I like, I would give a major share to my child, right? As much
Yes,
as
always happens. Always happens.
it's always like that. So starting from that space, okay, very simple space, to really investing money, time, your mind, everything, it's completely focused on your child. Completely.
On the
Getting
child.
me?
Yes.
On the child, right? And then we forget about ourselves as parents. So it's like, this new soul has come into your hands, and now you are like, okay, now my journey is going to be lived by my child. And the child from the day one really feels burdened. They can't speak up, they can't say that, but then you can feel that, right? As they grow up, possibly you keep on saying them. So I have worked with so many teens, and so many parents, of course, are my clients. So it's like, whenever I speak with the teens, the only thing is, if they couldn't do this, why are they asking us to do this, right? And if they had a dream and they couldn't follow that, why are they looking forward to complete their dreams through us? Why don't we have our own dreams to live?
Yes, yes, yes.
Right? So
In this regard, even yes.
from that space, then when I speak with both the sides, it becomes super clear that what is the path that the parents
Yes.
need to take. Because as much as we want to give the better parenting to our children, I think we all know that the children are better followers than better listeners. We all know that. They would imbibe much more what they see you behaving, you operating from, rather than you telling them that, you need to do this, you need to do
Yes.
that, and all of that. It doesn't sink into them. They are great observers, and from their observations about you, they will learn, imbibe, and then go on their own journey of making that success happen. Now, what's my role as a parent here is to be detached from the space that what will people say about me as a parent, right? Am I a good parent or a bad parent, right? We always, think about ourselves in the parenting journey, but it's not about us. It's about the child. How are you going to help them to be the great decision makers tomorrow? How are you going to help them to live their own journey? How are you going to help them to really, scale up the way they want it to be? Of course, with your support and your connection with them staying intact on that journey. Not like you asking them to live your life, your journey, and then that's it. Many times we have seen the parents' script comes into the child's life. Maybe as a child, you didn't receive that much love from your parents. Maybe there were challenges. There had been challenges. But now you say, okay, oh, my father didn't spend that much of time with me, so I need to spend that time with my children. And then you are going overboard. You are giving quantity time rather than quality time to them. So I actually help parents to decode their script, their life script, which is on in their life, and how they can change it to really create an impact to their child. That's what is one of the aspects
Yes.
of my job,
Yes.
right? Now, coming to a space where and how parents can start living as human beings first and then come on parenting. right? So we all agree before being a parent, we all are human beings, right? So we have our own desires, we have our own things that we like, love, want to do. Everything is something unique about us, right? But as soon as we onboard that journey of parenting, we forget about everything else and we are just behind that child. Oh, you have to do this, that, and then the whole burden comes into picture. And when that burden comes into picture, you actually lose that connection with your child. And when you lose that connection with your child, and the symptoms are about that, the child stops to listen to you. The child says, I don't want to listen, whatever you are saying, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm not going to do that. That's the first symptom. Number two symptom is they trust someone else more than you as a parent or as a guide. So a lot of teens come to me, I have a different role model. There is nothing wrong in that, but then the trust level is different in that space because you have not given them a space for them to come to you and speak about anything, or you have not shown them how that can be done. You have told them, not shown them. That's where the disconnect happens. So that trust level goes in. So there are very, very minor and very major indicators that you would see that they are irritated very easily when you ask them to do something. And they'll say, you are always behind me for this. What's happening? So parents, if you are listening and you have these indicators in your life, okay, it's an alarm for you. It's a big alarm for you to start looking into your own lives and start investing in you. Really taking a step back, taking a pen and a paper, really noting down, where do I stand as a human being? What has been my desires? What are my dreams? Okay. One of the dreams, of course, as a parent is, you want your child to be successful. That's awesome. But then during that phase, how are you going to really grow as a person to help your child to be on that path of success? That's the real question. And when you write that 1 pager, 2 pager, 3 pager of your own dreams and desires that you have given away possibly, right? And start slowly picking one each at a time and really implementing it. Now you're showing your child that how do I follow my dreams? Isn't that true? Right?
Yes.
And now when you're showing your child that how do I follow my dreams, your child is observing you. And your child is learning from you. Right? When you say no to your child about something that I am not available at this moment because I am into this thing, which is important for me as a person, and that will bring me as a good parent or a more available parent for you, of course they will understand. With my own journey as a mother initially, because it's always like that, right? As a mother, we all know, and as a father also, we all know, we are so much indulged in the parenting space during the initial years, of course, and then later on also. But how are you there in the initial years itself will define the rest of the path. And even if you have missed that journey, my dear friends, it's not, you still have time to really improvise, because each one of us is still on a learning path. Parenting is a journey, one size doesn't fit all, right? So if you've got those indicators where it's really alarming for you, what do? First of all, you actually check on yourself in terms of your own desires. Where do you stand as a person in your happiness level, in your satisfaction level, not in the parenting space?
You mean to say there should be a right kind of balancing? Okay.
The balance.
There should be a balance.
So I am saying not the balance part of it. I'm saying you need to start keeping yourselves first in some spaces.
Okay.
You need to really treat yourself that important person. right? Because if you are treating yourself as an important person, you are teaching the biggest lesson to your child from that space. That yes, I am the most important person, right? So if I am the most important person, so my love for myself is very important, right? And now when I
So we
operate
can
from
say,
that space,
so in this regard, Madam Shraddha, we can say that if we want to teach our child high self-esteem, that is very important that we treat ourselves with that self-esteem. We should
very
not be
much,
lost so
very
much.
much, very much.
This
It's
is
very important.
okay.
See, it's all about the life skills that you're giving to your child. It's the academics is the important aspect, right? And
Yes, yes.
fortunately or unfortunately, our education system now, there are schools, teachers, parents, are getting more and more and more aware, right, that the life skills are equally important. Because teenagers are confused these days. They are into so much of addiction these days
Exactly.
because they don't know what to do,
Exactly.
right? And when you start respecting yourself first, you start setting the boundaries as a parent. This is what I need to do for myself first. Maybe it could be health, that 30 minutes
Yes.
of your own time for exercising, or maybe just sitting back and having a sip of a tea. That's it, for 10 minutes, right? So how do you engage and involve yourself in your own self-care is an important aspect. How are you making yourself available for your kids? They don't want you
Exactly.
physically, right? They want you to
Exactly.
be emotionally,
Yes.
right, completely present with them in any conversation. And if you can make that happen, nothing like it. One of my clients from Hyderabad, um, he is an art gallery owner, and his own thing was, because I didn't receive love from my parents, not like really something bad happened or something of that sort, but then he was a middle child, and he was always asked to go to his elder brothers and sisters for any kind of need. So he wanted expansion in his work, but then what happened was he wanted to be there with his kids because he felt that because what I didn't receive, I need to give away, right? And in that space, then back of the mind, the expansion was one of the keywords all the time running, because as much as he wanted to be there, as much as he wanted to prepare himself financially for his kids, right? So it was a
Yes.
conflicting situation for him, right? And then in that, he was losing out on a lot of things. And then rather than improving his relationship with his kids, he was actually spoiling it because he was not present mentally with them. So the availability doesn't matter in terms of the quantity, it matters in terms of quality. That's number one. And before that, how are you investing in yourself is something which is, I would say, that's the most important aspect. If, as a parent, you are not giving 5 minutes to yourself every day, to your dreams, or to your health and fitness, or to whatever you feel like, I need to be at peace, I need to sit relaxed, just sipping a cup of tea, right? I need to do that. And then if I'm not doing that, and if I keep on cribbing about that, I don't get time, I don't have that energy, at the end of the day I'm so tired, I would say it's your responsibility. If you want to bring everything for your child,
Yes. Yes.
you need to invest in yourself. So lot of
So
parents, when they
rightly
come
said.
to me,
Rightly said.
right, a lot of parents, when they
Yes.
come to me, when they coach with me, when they work with me, I actually give them a path. And that path is like, okay, you want to be a better parent, right? Fine. But then tell me, what are you doing for yourselves first? And then when we move on a journey of one-on-one coaching or group coaching that I offer, it's amazing. It's mind blowing for them to really, tune into their lives. And then whatever outcome they get, is so awesome. Their connection with their child increases so much.
Yes.
And that's exponential. And then they find, oh, I had been trying this for so hard. Right? I've been
Yes.
pushing myself so hard to make
Yes.
that connection happen. Oh, then you could create that very easily. So time and again, Sangeeta, in my life, I had, health challenges. Possibly there were career challenges as well. There were different kinds of challenges that came, right? But
Yes.
then I found the only root cause for each one of them was I was moving away from myself. If when I started to reconnect back to myself, every area opened for me. And then I started to get amazing results in every aspect of my life. So when we are talking about teaching the life skills to the children, right, we need to first understand how we are, how do we rate ourselves on those life skills as parents. If we are depleted on that space, right, if I am not self-confident, if I don't have a great self-esteem, I am not organized, I don't know how to communicate with people, I find it difficult basically to express myself, right? If really I don't know how to manage my environment and really have that better mental health, how am I going to teach that to my child?
Yes.
I can't.
One more question, ma'am. Madam Shraddha, in this scenario, especially in Indian society, एक common सा trend निकल के आता है, maybe due to certain circumstances, all of us, maybe like we most of us are the people of killed dreams, and I'm sorry, but it is a fact that we maybe due to circumstances, or it happens that most of us are not able to fulfill our dreams, and then we move on,
Right.
and then we compromise the situation. And when the child comes in our life, definitely with lots of compromises, because it is that way that parenthood is associated with sacrifice. The moment you become a parent, आपको तो अपनी सारी desire side में रख देनी ही है, because you are a mother or a father, becomes your priority. Other than that, what happens, that a time comes when knowingly or unknowingly, even quite aware and educated parents also, we start imposing our all those killed dreams upon the children. So in this regard, what do you suggest, ma'am? Because ये बहुत common scenario है आजकल के time. What do you want to say in this regard?
Got it. So it's a beautiful thing that you asked, Sangeeta, because especially in the Indian context, we find it very prevalent.
Yes, yes.
Very, very prevalent. Now, I want to ask a question to the parents who have killed dreams, okay, who have really not been able to make it whatever they wanted to do in their space, right? Now, you'll have to look at it from this aspect, that is this journey about your child or yourselves? Okay. And if this journey is about your child, right, now you will have to give away that desire of making your child live your dream. That's very hard to do.
You will have to move.
But yes, it's very hard. It's very hard. But when you become very conscious parents, when you realize that, okay, oh, maybe subconsciously I am actually, making my child do what I wanted to do, right? So it's, so there are different levels, Sangeeta, when parents work with me, I help them with. So the first level basically is, making them aware, first of all. And just before that, it's just identifying what you wanted to do. What is your killed dream, possibly, that you wanted to do, you couldn't achieve, right? So starting from the past, and then coming to the present, the awareness part of it, that what is the space that I'm operating from? Am I operating from my past space where there had been some issues, some challenges, right? during my childhood, my upbringing, and that is why I am an outcome of that challenge and the space, right? And now in the present moment, when I know stuff, but then subconsciously still I am acting as that parent who wants my child to really progress the path I wanted to, right? So now the first step is to identify the past, then coming out of the present in terms of the awareness, where I'm operating from, what is my script that is running and which can harm my child, right? As a parent, we all want good for our children. We don't want to be parents that, you know, they will grow up and blame us for, right? We want to be there for them genuinely because they are a part of us, right? But then in that genuineness, somewhere when we actually, you know, make a khichdi of our desires, you know, what we want, and then do not listen to what they want, this becomes like a mess, complete mess. So to sort that mess, my recipe, my approach would be, first understand what your past had been. You know, you need to really look at where I'm coming from. What is that pointer which is coming, which has started to move? So I get to the root of that pointer. Then I come back, okay, fine. Now let's be aware, okay, you know, let's identify 1, 2, 3 situations that you have gone through with your child where it has been really a difficult phase for you as a parent to deal with. Oh, how can my child, you know, answer back to me? Or how can my child say that to me like that, right? And then you decode it, where it is coming from. And then when you start decoding, then the basic recipe is to untangle that, you know, untangle slowly, sort it out in the present moment by being aware bit by bit by bit. That's the level of conscious parenting that I help the people with. So if that approach you would like to take as a parent, because parenting is a learning for all of us. And also a lot of people blame their parents, right? That I am into this space because of my parents. But my dear friend, tomorrow when your child will say the same for you, got it? It's going to be the same script running, right? So though you might have faced something as a child and you don't want to give that to your child, but the script is the same. You are giving more and more and more, and it's the opposite then, right? So now you'll have to detach yourself from this space as a parent. The more you detach, the more you're able to bring yourself on in this journey of parenting, and then you will find there is an exponential growth in the mindset of your child. Their behaviors shift. Their behavior shift completely. And it takes a bit of an effort, I would say. It's not overnight that you find it. But then possibly during the day, if 10 minutes you are an aware parent, you have saved 5 years of mess. That's what I would say. Got it? So if you are 10 minutes aware during the day while you are dealing with your child, while you're speaking with your child, or you are being available for your child for that 10 minutes fully, it is going to save you next 5 years of mess. And the more mess, the more it takes for you to unwind and restart. Right? So
in this regard, Sada, you mean to say that is very important that we respect the person's space rather than imposing the child, imposing upon the child our own dreams. We are actually killing the child's own dream. So it's better that we respect our own personal space. At the same time, we respect the child's own personal space and dreams also.
Indeed.
And by our own guidance and presence only, we can help the child in fulfilling his own dreams. This is what you mean to say?
I mean to say exactly the same. You need to have your own boundary, and you need to teach your child to have their own boundary, right? And you need to respect that. Plus, you actually need to be more aware dealing with them because they have started their journey. Got it? So, and you are the most important people in their lives. Okay? As I said, this show is, dedicated to my father. This is because he brought on so many things. into my life as a parent.
Yes.
Right? And then that's where, at this age, my level of understanding, my level of really helping people out is way different than possibly, I could have been, right, as a human being. So the complete shift is like you trust your parents completely. And, if the parent says, okay, you're not that good, you are a dumb person, all that language bit also really matters. When I work with the teens, they come to me and they say, oh, my mom said this to me, do you think it's true? When they ask me a question like that,
Yes.
and then I say, no, who said this? Oh, this is my parents that keep on telling me this thing. And then I go back to the parents, you really need to check your language, what you're talking about, because you are the ones who is imposing an identity to your child.
Exactly.
And if you are the ones who are giving an identity of a dumb, whatever, destructive, a lot of parents I've seen using this kind of words. Like sometimes, very simple example I would like to take here. I know we are running out of time, but very simple example that if some child keeps on doing something, some pranks, right? Or in that sense, something or the other gets broken, right? So all the time, so
Right.
you always tag it as you are very destructive child, rather than taking a step back and decoding the action of the child. Why the child is actually getting involved into this kind of activities. What is it
Right.
internally that the child wants? Maybe the child wants your attention. Child is calling you for 10 times, you are not coming. When you broke the vase, you will come running, right? And if that is happening, that's an alarm that you need to really look at. What are you actually anchoring in them? Are you anchoring the negative behavior, saying that I'm available when you do negative behaviors? Or when you say, okay, I'm available when you do positive behaviors? So it's all about that. And
that is
my
very, very
only
important.
request,
Yes.
my only request to the parents would be, go on a coaching journey for yourselves. Because if you want to fast track your space as a parent and as a person who is actually looking forward for their dreams to come true, it's not like you have to give away all your dreams, and not like you have to put all your dreams as a burden on your child. You learn to live your own dreams, and in the process, you are actually taking your child along, teaching them bit by bit to own their space, to respect themselves, to actually organize themselves, communicate better, manage their time, all the life skills that you want to teach them. So if you invest in yourself, you get everything out of it, as a parent and as a human being.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for this wonderful advice. Thank you so much. Because I think it's a fact that if our children to be strong emotionally as well as physically, that is very, very important that we spend some time with ourselves. We spend some time in maintaining our own health. If we want, our children to be people of high self-esteem and a valuable resource in the society, that is very important that we prove ourselves to be valuable for the society. So thank you so much for, I must say, that generating that awareness amongst us, especially Indian parents. Like, we become so much mundane, and because we just go on and go on and go on with those all kinds of sacrifices and providing the best to the child, and then in this process only, when we get a huge distance, even we forget, right?
Right.
So that is very, very important that we take care of ourselves. We have, our own life has not stopped the moment we become parents, because I must say that we become more valuable because we are having a big responsibility with us. So thank you so much.
So in my book as well, Circle of Perspectives, there is a part about a parent, catching up with your child. If you're embarking on a journey of being parents, you need to have that, sense of connection with yourself and with your partner. Both of that is very important.
So with this, we put an end to the show, and definitely thank you so much, Madam Shraddha, for being with us. you have proved yourself definitely why you have received so many awards and all, and in the
Thank you.
parenting, and it's going to be very beneficial for us. And this is how I guess we can put an end to the show now.
Thank you so much.